Okay, make sure you're taking good notes on this one. We're going to write the equations for lines. We're not actually going to graph any of these. I'm going to show you where the equations come from. Okay, so you can write the equation of a line if you're given one of these three things. So if you're given the slope and a point on the line, or if you're given the horizontal and the vertical intercepts, or if you're given any 2 points on that line. Okay, so can we write the equation of a line from the following information? So we have it through 2 points. Okay, so yes, we could. Oh, let's use a color. Okay. Can we write it from this? No. We need more information. This only gives us the slope. We don't know where it crosses the y-axis. If we have an x-intercept and a y-intercept, yep. We can write the equation of the line from that. If we have just 1 point, no. We either need another point, or we need an intercept, or we need a slope. We need something else to be able to write the equation. Okay, so write the equation of the line with a slope of 5 and a vertical intercept of -7. So if you remember this, m is your slope, right? So we just said the slope was 5. And b is your vertical intercept, which we say right here is -7. So that's it. Yes, it's that simple, okay, for this type of problem. All right, write the equation of the line that goes through 5, -1, and 5, -3. Okay, hopefully you can see right here, it's glaring. Okay, it's what we learned about the horizontal and the vertical lines. If both your x's are 5, the equation of the line is just x equals 5. This is a vertical line through 5. Another way to look at it is you could graph those points, 5, -1, 5, -3. If I draw that line, it's a vertical line, x equals 5. Write an equation of the line that has an x-intercept of 5 and a y-intercept of -7. Okay, we could do this by graphing as well. We have an x-intercept of 5 and a y-intercept of -7. Okay. We need a slope. Well, that's up 7 over 5. And we need a y-intercept. Well, that's right here at -7. Write the equation of a line that has a slope of a half and goes through 5, 9. Okay, now this one we can't just do. We need to actually do this one mathematically, okay? So what you do is you start out with y equals mx plus b, all right? In this one, we know the slope is a half, and we know it goes through 5, 9. Well, this is my x and this is my y. So back over here, where there's a y, we're going to replace that with 9. Where there's an m, we're going to replace that with a half. And where there's x, we're going to replace that with 5. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to figure out what b has to equal. Well, half of 5 is 4. Sorry. Half of 5 is 2.5. All right, so then we subtract 2.5 to figure out what b is. So b would be 6.5, right? 6.5 plus 2.5, 8.5, 9. Yep. Okay, so if my b is 6.5, now I can write the equation of my line. Y equals, my slope is a half, and my b is 6.5. That's my answer. Okay, so we have to do a little bit of algebra to be able to figure these out. All right, so let's do another one like that. Excuse me. We got y equals mx plus b. This is my m. This is my y. This is my x. And we want to figure out what b is. Well, 6 times 12 is 72, so -72. So I add 72. So b equals 67. So my equation, y equals, my slope was -6, and my vertical intercept is 67. Okay, I wouldn't really want to graph that one, but we could. Start at 67, down 6 over 1. Okay, the equation of a line that goes through 10, 10, and 4, 4. All right, so you could graph this one, or we could just figure it out mathematically. Let me show you the mathematical way. The first thing we have to do is figure out what the slope is. And our slope is going to be our rise over our run. Okay, so basically it's the change in y over the change in x. My change in y, so in other words, I'm going to take y and subtract my other y. Okay, another way you might see it written in future math classes, hang on, I'll write it down. It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And what that means is if we have a point, x1, y1, and x2, y2. So if I take y2, that's my 4, subtract my y1, that's 10, over my x2 is 4, and my x1 is 10. Well, 4 minus 10 is negative 6. 4 minus 10 is negative 6. Negative 6 over negative 6 is just 1. So let's go back to this equation. We now know m is 1. And we can pick either point now for our x and our y. So if I pick this x, then I have to pick this y. Okay, so 10 equals 1 times 10 is 10. Subtract 10, so b is 0. So this one would be y equals 1x plus 0, which of course we could just have as y equals x. Okay? We could have graphed that as well. Okay? 4, 4 is like right here, and 10, 10 is like right here. Well, right there, that's your equation, y equals x. Okay, let's try another one. We have 7, negative 2, and 5, 6. All right, so we're going to start with the slope. So let's go y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So if I take 6 minus negative 2, if I start with 6, then I have to start with 5. Otherwise, your signs are going to be off. Make sure your y is on top, x is on the bottom, or your slope's going to be inverse. 6 minus negative 2 is 8, and 5 minus 7 is negative 2. Well, that's just negative 4. So if I go to my y equals mx plus b, I now know my m is negative 4. I can pick either point. Let's pick this one. My x would be 5, my y would be 6. Negative 4 times 5 is negative 20. Add 20. So b equals 26. So my equation is y equals, my m is negative 4, and my b is 26. And that's the equation of my line. Okay? All right, that does it. So if we go back, we've got, this is how you write the equation with 2 points. There's another example with 2 points. This is an example with the slope and 1 point. This is with the slope and 1 point. This one was with the x and the y-intercept. You could also do this one like the 2-point version. So if you don't automatically see that, you could just graph this. You can also do this method, and it'll get you the same answer. Okay? And there was that one with 2 points. And then the really simple one, okay, where I give you the slope, I give you the intercept, and you just write the equation of the line. Okay, so that takes us back to this one, where I showed you how to do all 3 of those.